NIGMA versus NAVI, two very big organizational names, could be helpful. Our mid lane matchup, well, we're going to watch bottom a little bit real quick first, just to make sure that Miracle's going to be okay, because he may not be. He's going to be followed into the trees. Nice block there, cutting down the tree to be able to get just in front of Miracle, blocking out the pounce. Really well done by Pasha. If you can keep that mid tower up alive for as long as possible to kind of protect your jungle areas.
I think both teams realizing how important they are. They're rotating DK in for this one. Weeha in some trouble.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised they're trying to be so aggressive on the side of NIGMA without pulling their Sand King into this situation.
He wasn't the reason Pugna died there. Like,
no.
Perhaps. Oh,
Here we go for it though.
Yeah.
Pasha, see if they can blow him up with all this magic damage. It's not quite enough until the blast comes in from GH. It did cost them a number of ultimates there, the Epicenter as well as the Will-O-Wisp.
All about keeping these tier 1 mid towers alive as long as possible. You don't mind those big ultimates being committed because it keeps the tier 1 alive and quite likely sets you up to take the enemy tier 1.
Weeha's here to run it back. If I know anything about Weeha, deaths do not deter him. He's going to keep playing this way. Now that he's got his team to back him up, it's going to be a lot more successful. They'll take that mid tower and claim the Rubik's life as well. You need some actual high ground vision or fly a courier over there or something to be able to spot that ward, and that actually saves Magical's life.
It's pretty crazy how value supports are that have a way to scout
Pasha,
plays.
did he just juke him out? He managed to juke back into the trees, but Crystallize is going to be the target from NIGMA instead, and they're going to turn back knowing that Pasha juked somewhere over there. Magical's going to show himself, but not quite enough to be able to finish off Miracle here. He tries to lay down, but now he's been caught in the Fiend's grip. A double stun. Mind Control is going to be able to catch him with the Epicenter. Not quite enough to finish off Magical, though. He gets a helping hand from SoBad with the Telekinesis and the Chakra Magic he stole earlier. Pasha, still very tanky, but they're going to focus all their magic damage on him now that he's been isolated away. So close to NIGMA, like almost wiping Navi. If they'd finished off Magical there, that would have been a massive team fight. Instead, looks like they're going to catch SoBad as he sticks around trying to pull the creep wave off the tower with Fate Bolt. I'll actually go for a fight. I just didn't think they would, simply because you're kind of closing in on Bloodstone for Magical. Crystallize is getting a tower and doesn't have BKB yet. So I'm surprised they're getting heroes that are close enough to get caught like this in the first place if they're not actually going to take a team fight. Pasha easily surrounded by so many heroes. Now Crystallize has blown his Eclipse. Hasn't actually killed anybody just yet. A Burrow Strike comes out from Mind Control. Clone him up even further. SoBad with a stolen Burrow Strike now has stolen Life Drain, but he may not get the chance to use it as the magic damage is too much for him to handle. While everyone is low, or at least a bit low on the side of NIGMA, can both turn into the Silver Edge against the DK, but also is a really good pick-off item for when this Storm Spirit is split pushing. Mind Control finds an opening stun onto the Luna at first, while the Storm Spirit tries to jump in, but he's immediately Nightmare. Stalled up a little bit. He has the damage to finish off this Bane, but the trade-off for this Luna is certainly not worth it, as that magic damage overwhelms her HP pool pretty quickly, and Miracle's not going to back down. He starts stealing away some stats from Pasha, because knowing that he's got Mind Control and GH that can output the damage for him that they need. All that magic damage against DK, armor and regen doesn't do a damn thing for him. Weeha even finds Ilias on the backside as well. Or smoke or something, but Crystallize, he's already far enough behind. They're going to lead off. Okay, that's a decent Lucent Beam into a Centaur stun with the Storm jumping in. They can't quite finish off Kuro just yet. His life is going to be stalled out quite a bit, thanks in part to Weeha with a nice life drain. Miracle getting in. A nice 3-man Burrow Strike out from Mind Control. Really nicely done with the grip onto Pasha. Pasha is going to die to that Brain Sap, and Kuro stays alive. Jump back in. The Eclipse is not enough to finish off Mind Control as he uses the Yule Scepter to be able to dodge all of that damage.
And Storm is dead.
Storm gets caught by Mind Control at the end too. So a beautiful team fight from NIGMA. No doubt, they played that really well. Slight small juke to the right before a long jump away for Magical. Does not get caught by that smoke rotation. NIGMA though, they're going to try and catch into the mid lane instead. They do so bad. He managed to get the deny on the tower, so it may have actually been worth his life considering that hefty bounty that was both given to Navi and taken away from NIGMA. But they need to make sure Crystallize doesn't die. GH, well, he's got the Will-O-Wisp to follow up onto that pounce. Here comes Mind Control with all that magic damage. The Epicenter Burrow Strike blows the Luna up pretty easily. Magical actually gets caught, doesn't get a zip away, and now quite low on mana as well. He's going to die before he wakes back up from all those disables.
Oh boy, that's killing heroes, killing towers, so they're just going to look to keep on fighting and not letting Navi finish these BKBs.
Well, I felt like I was talking about the BKB timing for 15 minutes and Crystallize. Well, he finally has it. Can he actually win a fight off of it? Eclipse goes down. They're going to focus on Weeha first, but a Nightmare out from Kuro. Now the Fiend's grip onto Crystallize. Going to hold him in place, and Weeha escapes. No kills to be found, and a death is only thing that awaits. So bad. Nice use of the Burrow Strike to get away. Back to the fountain. No, he can't quite make it. It's only magical, so they're just going to call it here. GG. NIGMA taking this first game.
Yeah, good sign for the NIGMA squad. They come out strong. Very dominant performance.
We're going to experience some deja vu in this game too, where NAVI, their lineup just being a bit too greedy, where all three of their cores need some farm. Off-lane duo, him and the DK. Looks like we are going to have some normal lanes. Nice spear from Mind Control. That's just going to be a bit of damage here. That's forcing him to spin as well isn't too bad.
Really good damage early on.
They're going to go for it? They're really going to dive? They don't have the brain sap up yet, but it looks like just the auto attacks are good enough. Kuro gets the first blood.
Yeah, hasn't won a game this season on Phoenix. 0-3, so not here NIGMA's had a lot of success
nice rotation, Ilias. Oh, it's not going to be quite enough to save Magical's life, though. Fortunately, Weehaw does die. Like, okay, their rotations and stuff are good, and they're making the right play, but ultimately they're just in a bad situation because of their draft. Their lane's not going so hot, so bad he's going to be burned out. You are on fire. I never noticed that description before of Burning Spears. He's not even level 6 yet, so.
Yeah. That's where this Husker pick feels amazing because it's shutting down the key playmaker of NAVI. Like,
that's really nice. The spin into the Inkswell stun should be enough to be able to get the kill onto Mind Control. He's being kept alive off the Sun Ray, but there's no way out of this situation. He's put himself in. Miracle, he's going to show himself, but he needs Vision of Crystallize to get the Wrath of Nature to hit. He does manage to get a block there and cancels some of the healing salve, though most of the damage is already done. The Husker is going to come in now to be able to clean up on not one support, but two. Ilias, he pops the Inkswell, hoping to survive long enough for it to explode, maybe deal a little damage, but ultimately he's very, very dead. The Dragon Knight has more net worth. Let me go for the Spirit Vessel instead of, Void Spirit being a very good Spirit Vessel carrier. Yeah. But Pasha, he's a lot closer to it. This allows Magical to focus a little bit more because I was seeing him buying up Null Talismans. I'm like, dog, you got to get a Spirit Vessel stat. Top lane, he's going to try and make a go here on a Miracle. Definitely a really big kill if they can get it, but Ilias, he may be the turnaround here. Miracle is able to kill him, goes to the teleport out. No, he's too tanky. Blade Mail, man, what a value item in this game. Spin over, Crystallize. He will manage to get that bounty rune, but at the same time, it looks like Huskar's locked onto a kill. We're going to watch Kuro die at the same time. Maybe Magical's going to get caught. He dies away. Oh no, the spear! They've caught him. Nice blind spear from Mind Control through the trees, catches them out. And the 3 cores show up, bringing down the mid of Navi because they have the BKB armlet on Huskar. So, Weehaw is ready to take any fight that is offered. Crystallize, in some trouble, gets silenced, and spin going off, but it's not good enough. Oh. It was staying around 4K, I think, earlier, and so now it's only 3K up.
I think they have done a good job with this Rubik, especially just keeping these lanes shoved out. That's why Sobad's net worth is actually rather high this game. He's just been the one going to these quote-unquote dead lanes where...
Oh no, the telekinesis, it didn't hit Miracle. The drop down, if it had, maybe he could have just used the teleport to get out. Spotted again. Probably going to die here unless he can really juke him into these trees, but still.
Is that
a lot of space.
What's the item that does damage over time on Prophet? Yeah, he's got the Dragon Scale kill. That's I was like, what's he dying to there?
No stunts here unless the spear. The spear gets there in time before the TP can be completed. Same goes with the Fiend's Grip. So with the Dragon Knight just now coming back up.
Did force Weeha's BKB, and they really want to catch him out, it seems.
Jumping again. Nightmare dodging the Inkswell stun. Nicely played by Kuro. Now stuck inside the arena because he blew all his Astral Steps and no way out. Fortunately, the Desolator makes mincemeat out of this Mars. He's on the high ground now with Pasha going back in. Can he get through this Sprout and get on top of some of these heroes with the Inkswell stun? He'll manage to throw that out with a stolen Sunray out from Sobad. He's doing a good job keeping this damage onto Weehaw, but it's not quite enough to finish him off. Fortunately, Crystallize doing all the heavy lifting as he is ripping apart heroes right now. This Desolator doing so much work. And Weehaw, oh, please tell me they have a stun. They don't. Oh. The Aether Remnant will come out too late.
Juggernaut in these team fights.
All right, if I'm Navi, this time around, I'm asking Pasha. Do exactly the same that Magical did. Just dive in and utilize a buyback here. Because they're going to need those extra numbers against that Aegis. This early initiation not going so well. Mind Control's already dead, and they're going to manage to get away from the Supernova pretty well. Unless Crystallize, oh no, he's stuck in the Fiend's Grip. Didn't spot that one until it was too late. Crystallize not having the buyback. They needed Pasha to be the one to die. Unfortunately, now without their damage, Doesn't look like they have a great way. Tried to blink in and stun, but Weehaw too quick with the fingers, activates his BKB. And even if he did catch him, he's got Heaven Talbot, he's got Sunray behind him, and he's got an Aegis ultimately. Lead in, telekinesis into the Ether Remnants. Soulbind going out. Once again, the Nightmare doing a good job disjointing some of that damage. They do take away that Aegis, and they do maybe kill Miracle. No, they didn't turn around and kill him. He activates the cheese, and Miracle, he'll finish off this range Rax with the help of Weehaw, who ultimately uses Life Break just to try and lower his HP a little bit lower so he can attack faster. They do have a nice stolen spear, but it's going to cost so bad his life probably. He's trying to limp away, dissimulate, doing some damage, but he has to get away from all these heroes, especially away from Weehaw with no Astral Step for another 10 seconds. This Weehaw Huskar should make easy work of him unless Sage to the rescue. Looks like Crystallize almost able to finish him off. A Nightmare save once again. Weehaw almost dead. Crystallize finally gets him. Activates the spin and goes for Miracle up next. Miracle, a heavy hitter though. Can't stand up against that physical damage for long. Pasha, same problem here. A Sprout combo with Mind Control who hits the Spear of Mars. Only 2 alive now with a buyback coming out.
Play around the Huskar on the front line. Once your ultimates are all up, I think you go for it.
Don't let him do this. They do manage to save Crystallize from that Fiend's Grip, and he gets off the spin. He'll be alive. Unfortunately, the two that look to bail him out so bad in Pasha, they both go down, and that's now an opportunity for NIGMA.
Mars to get off a good arena. And that's something I think Mind Control struggled with, being this insta-blink initiator. He kept getting like scouted or insta-lifted when he blinked in, so.
Do have a lot of AoE burst here. Magical's going to come in with his fresh Aghanim Scepter and throws out those resonant pulses, making sure that Kuro can't get any spells off. Unfortunately, they just don't have the damage and get demolished so quickly. Crystallize. He just gets ripped apart by these NIGMA members. Pretty clean 2-0 for them.